Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV Live.
Live.
Do
I have to say live like
you do,
that too?
you do. That's part of
I gotta think of my way to say live, but I don't have it yet. I'll have to think about that.
Live. Just to differentiate that this is not an edited video, so if we screw up,
if we say things that are dumb,
if the dog is snoring in the background,
snore.
the dog is on the bed behind us and he might snore. But yeah, so production values, man.
That's right.
Okay, so this is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about a myriad of many things. Hopefully people come in.
You know, after last night, though, with the one you had to delete with the gaming that broke, they might not. Because that was a nightmare disaster.
Yeah, we actually had a stream last night, gaming stream, and the game broke. We actually got the blue screen of death. And so we actually had to, then we tried to hurry up and play another game, and Squid King attempted to entertain people. We actually hid the video because it was so god-awful.
It was.
It wasn't up to
And he was so embarrassed, and it wasn't his fault. Is he already snoring?
Yeah, the dog is
already
We're
snoring.
not talking about the kid. We're talking about Charlie.
Hello, everybody.
Charlie Puppy. Who's
Hello.
doing
If you
good,
hear
actually.
weird noises in the background, that's the dog snoring.
So
Omega
Arts, you'll never see it again, Omega Arts. You'll never see it again.
Hello.
So, all right, so people are coming in. Yeah, we should play co-op. Well, we're gonna
new disguise, because you said geeky 3 times, so I thought I'd just repay that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were getting you were.
No, I'm just repaying. I'm repaying I'm repaying. He said geeky 3 times, so you know.
Okay, cool. So we got people coming in, so the notifications work. Look at that.
How about that?
Okay, so before we talk about the many things we have to talk about, we got Shira, we got Vic Mignogna, we got Invader Zim. We've got Captain America might be played by a different actor in the MCU TV shows.
We got Gail Simone saying stupid things again.
Gail Simone saying stupid things about the comic, but well, she's not saying stupid things. She's basically Gail Simone.
She's saying something. Okay, she's saying something that's very right, but it's a little bit too late.
It's a little bit too late.
So
we're going to talk about the comic book industry going down the crapper. We're going to talk about Earthworm Jim. So speaking of bad news in comics, we'll talk about good news in comics.
Yeah, we need more good news, guys.
We need more good news. We're going to talk about Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy.
Basically,
that's apparently
we're talking about
not
a lot
happening.
of things. Now, I will say, if you've been messaging me on Twitter and I didn't answer you, I apologize. I have been very, very busy. I am remodeling Pinky Boo's room. So it's been a lot of work. Oh, he is really loud snoring. If you hear that rumble, that is the dog.
That's not trucks. That's actually the dog.
That's the dog. So,
that is Charlie.
He's doing okay right now. So let's just hope it stays that way.
He was. Yeah, we had a scare. Before. We were afraid that his hip, like he had a broken pelvis or something, and that was not the case. So we're actually doing pretty good.
So anyway, but he's got so if you hear a lot of snoring, he's very loud. He snores very loudly.
We are talking about the dog and not me, right? Because
well, sometimes you do too, but mostly it's the dog.
Mostly it's the dog.
Okay, Godzilla. So well, first of all, we want to talk about the fact that we have a website.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people, we started it a few months ago. And then we sort of walked away for a while because we got really busy with other things. And now I think the time is right. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to building our website.
We're going to say what we want to say, which might not go over well with some people.
Yeah, so we're going to build a pop culture because there's too much to talk about to do videos on everything, and we cannot pump out like 6 or 10 videos a day. As much as we'd like to, that's not realistic.
So sometimes we're going to write about it instead, but we'll still say what we want to say. So there you go. But anyway, I did this story yesterday. The days blur together. So now there is an official Godzilla website, and it is Toho, and they launched it on May 7th, and it's actually the first ever official website for Godzilla, and they have all kinds of cool stuff on there. They have a Monsterpedia on there. They have like a look at all the movies, and they have a bunch of characters to keep adding, and they have wallpapers you can download, and they're going to have contests and art and all kinds of stuff, and they're going to keep adding stuff as it goes along. And they have like a little blog with news and things about the movie. Hello, dog. Anyway.
Yeah, so looks pretty cool. Thank you, Deimos. Didn't have to do that. Superhero hype is dead. Kaiju movie hype is alive again. I think superheroes, they're going to peak at Endgame. I think after that, like everything's been sort of building momentum for Endgame, and it's going to be really interesting to see where things go. They might go south. I don't know.
Well, I am very excited about Godzilla. So
yeah, Godzilla.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I am so happy about it. And and the cool thing about this website too, if you go to the website on your computer or on your mobile, you can choose whether you want the rumble turned on or not. So every time you hear like the Godzilla,
not ours, but Godzilla's. Yeah,
Godzilla's rumble. So every time you hear like the noise of him walking or whatever, it'll shake in your hand. It's really cool. So Squid King approves of that. It's very, very cool. Check it out. But it's their first official website. So yay. I'm very happy about it. Sorry, I am very happy about it.
I think it's really cool. And we talked about how Anime Matsuri had the store.
They're bringing the Godzilla store over from Japan.
Yeah.
So it's getting awesome. I
know. Now, if this movie
we should get an Ultraman movie. That'd be good.
Well, I thought they were working. They had one.
They had an animated thing.
Not that one, but I thought they had maybe it was a fan-made trailer where they showed.
Well, Squid King's been watching. Which one's he been watching? Tiga? I forget. He's been
watching
Ultraman
Tiga. That's his favorite.
He's been watching it downstairs during the day when he's done with school. He's been watching Tiga.
Tiga and Mebius. He likes Mebius a lot too.
So I'm just like, woohoo, Godzilla.
All right, hello everybody. So, this is going to be our blog. We're going to hopefully fill it with stories in between videos so we can cover more stuff. And we'll see what happens, I guess.
Maybe get some people to help some point.
Maybe we'll get some people to help.
Detective Pikachu was a good movie. I liked it quite a bit.
Good. It was good. It was good. Surprisingly good. I didn't expect it to be that good. All right. Here we go.
Somewhat, real quick, Tyler said about the video about Movie Bob. I heard about this. I saw part of that video. I didn't see enough of it to talk about it, though, because I've been busy. But, yeah.
Movie Bob shit on us not too long ago, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was the one who
probably because we don't like Sheeraness.
Yeah, no, he was pulling random thumbnails from people and
is that tool?
Called
I'm sorry, that person.
Called Comics Gators alt-right, and even though we never officially came out as being Comics Gate, he threw our thumbnails in there.
Oh, we can
I think the quartering called him out. So
is that him? Okay.
That's Movie Bob.
Anyway, so let's talk about She-Ra. I know we don't want to, but we have to. Speaking of She-Ra, I think after all the work I've done, I deserve a new doll. I'm just saying.
I think you do.
So She-Ra season 2, according to our friend Ronaldo, you remember Ronaldo? Ronaldo's back, and he says that She-Ra season 2 is basically The Empire Strikes Back.
It's that good.
No.
It's that good.
No, it's not. But his reasoning is he's stretching it on a few of these. Okay, so the second season has built up the various factions warring for the heart of Etheria, even more than season 1. Last season focused more on Adora becoming I hate that word, I'm not even saying it, the heroine.
Titular. Why do we keep using titular?
Apparently it's the word of the week. It's either, if it's not an ist word, it's titular. And Catra turning into the best friend who hated her for it.
Oh my God.
Boo-hoo, go ahead, read that.
Demo Z, thank you again. Did not have to do that. Jeff Gomez, who made Hot Wheels World Race and a huge Toku fan, is working with Sabara to make an Ultraman CU. Ooh. Where is my Johnny Sacco movie? Johnny Sacco would be pretty cool.
That would be good.
Hollywood would destroy it. They would just completely destroy a Johnny Sacco. God, they would
ruin everything. Let's not let them touch things anymore, because apparently it's a bad thing. So we go down here about the scope of the story. The stakes are raised in the cosmic scope. Blah, blah, blah. It's no longer just about Etheria, because as more of Hordak's armies and their overall missions are explored, it becomes a battle for the fate of the entire galaxy.
Galaxy?
No, it wasn't. It mostly wasn't. It mostly was like little videos about training and stuff like that, and Bo's two dads, and it really wasn't about the whole galaxy. Season 2 ends up really drawing a huge influence from one of pop culture's most iconic space sagas, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God!
Not really. Here's their argument. Okay?
I actually have it. Well, here we go. Let's Adora's
Here's their argument.
Right.
It's because it's like Empire Strikes Back because Adora's training. Because like Luke was training with Yoda, to complete his journey towards becoming a Master Jedi. He ended up talking about him going to Dagobah with Yoda. And now she's training with Synergy. I mean...
Synergy?
Yeah. What did you want me to see?
Oh, no, I made a Geeky and Kneon. You've been missed. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
So that's why it's like Empire Strikes Back, because she's training. Because what a concept. She'd need to train.
So Mulan was like The Empire Strikes Back.
I guess, yeah, we could say Mulan.
Rocky was like The Empire Strikes Back.
Right, right. It's all from the same.
Wait, no, those are both really good movies. So
is Empire Strikes Back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but She-Ra's not so good.
So
I haven't seen season 2. Disclaimer.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me ripping off, because they can't come up with something of their own anyway. So now we have another reason that's why it's like the Empire Strikes Back is because the villain is redeemed. Because in Empire, Darth Vader wasn't redeemed fully. But we could spot a glimmer of hope in him when he talked about creating order in the galaxy with Luke.
After chopping his hand off.
Right. At this point, we knew he was ready to turn on the Emperor. Well, no, we didn't really know that. But something would eventually happen.
He's a worse bad guy. I never got that.
So, I know, that's what I'm saying. They're really stretching. They're really
Emperor.
stretching. So in She-Ra, the same thing happens to Shadow Weaver. As a sorceress light spinner, she wanted to reduce chaos in the galaxy, but succumbed to the darkness, like Anakin. In season 2, we finally see her cutting ties with Hordak and his Legion in the Fright Zone, inspired by the love she has for Adora. They don't really say, I mean, I think that's implied, but she's like her mom, but they don't really say that. What? You don't know what she's doing.
Why is she creeping on Adora?
Because she thinks of Adora as her daughter, supposedly. I'm guessing, because, I
thought this was Tumblr fan art.
No, that's actually in the thing.
Okay.
So now she's going to be on the path of redemption, clearly because she is overlooking Adora.
Why do we have to make all the bad guys good guys?
Because no one is bad in this show. They all have a heart of gold.
Except for Hordak, right?
No, he'll probably have a heart of gold too. You watch. Well, he has a soft spot for Entrapta now.
Oh, sweet, merciful crap.
A dog story. That's what I think too, Charlie. Hordak wins the day. Not really. Empire is famous for Palpatine winning the day and breaking the rebel spirit. Wait. Palpatine winning the day and breaking the rebel spirit.
They only have one Unis spirit. Okay.
Okay, in Empire?
Spirits. Famous for Palpatine winning the day by breaking their spirits. Palpatine was a hologram. Ronaldo, have you watched...
That's why I'm like, in Empire?
Have you watched The Empire Strikes Back? Because Palpatine was barely in it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like.
Palpatine was in it for literally...
you're really stretching on this one.
A minute. We're like, oh, Darth Vader has a boss.
He got Lando to betray Leia. No, he didn't.
No,
Vader
did.
Not to mention, Jabba finally got his hands on Han Solo, thanks to Boba Fett and Vader. Palpatine and Vader clearly infiltrated the Alliance, and this personal triumphant hand, they began spinning up plans to create the new Death Star.
Wait, what? Empire's famous for... Wait a minute. Has he watched the fucking movies?
Doesn't matter. They don't have to watch movies. They know everything.
Clearly infiltrated the Alliance. No, they just kind of...
I think at this point, certain people can just hold something in their hand, and they just absorb all the information they need to know from it by holding it in their hand so they can call everybody else names.
With his personal...
You don't have to actually watch it anymore. You just have to kind of read the back of it, get the gist, read the cliff notes, and then you can tell everybody they're wrong.
With his personal triumph in hand, they began speeding up plans to create a new Death... No! As I understand it, they were actually working on the second Death Star during Empire Strikes Back. They would have
to be.
I mean, it takes years to make a freaking Death Star. You don't just do it in like 2 years.
How dare you actually make sense? You're stepping on his opinions, which are clearly wrong. But you can't make sense. If you make sense, they have to call you names for it. So now there'll be an article talking to people making fun of him and how they're all homophobic, racist, misogynistic trolls because how dare they say that his version of Empire Strikes Back isn't the correct one, even though it's not the correct one.
Why? Okay, so this is right up there with the games journalist that was in Kotaku complaining about the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? And they start off with, I've never played Final Fantasy VII, but I can see how problematic it is.
I know! It's like, that's what I'm saying.
What the hell? It's not a hard game to find.
It's like, no, they literally read the back of the book, read the back of the DVD, read like the Cliff's Notes version, and now suddenly they're an expert, and they can tell you how every theory you have makes you a misogynist, homophobic, racist, whatever, because they didn't actually watch it, but they know it's problematic that you think differently than their friends did who watched it. How dare you? So anyway, so now Hordak is winning in a similar fashion as he finally converts Entrapta. That's his win. That dog is snoring so loud. That's his win because Entrapta, and he's not really converting her. She just basically she doesn't pick good or bad. She just picks science.
She doesn't pick good. No, more people should do that. More people should be like, I am neither good nor evil. I just choose science.
Well, that's what she does. She's not, and so he didn't convert her. He just waved the shiny, idea in front of her face with portals and stuff, and that was all he needed to get her to help him.
But that's what
But that's nothing like Empire Strikes Back. I don't know where he's pulling what butthole he's pulling this from.
This could go down a rabbit hole we don't want to go down.
This is not science. This article is not science.
I don't think Ronaldo's actually watched The Empire Strikes Back.
Or not recently.
Not recently.
So, while Adora is busy training, the princesses were tied up trying to expand their coalition. They were actually in a tent. At one point they were playing like Dungeons and Dragons outside the place they were going to invade, where they were clearly visible. I mean, they're all stupid. They're all like morons. Anyway, I don't care which side you're talking about. They're equally moronic. And the Alliance in general is looking to break into Hordak's lair and stop his plans, but the villain simply kept his distance like Palpatine did, and engineered a weapon that may well decide the war to come. With all the heroes, none the wiser. Oh my god.
Here's the thing. Like, again, I did not see season 2 of She-Ra. Okay, but it seems like this Hordak just sort of like lurks in the shadows and doesn't get his hands.
He's more involved in this one, but it's more about him working on his project with Entrapta, and that's about it. And telling everybody else to go do his job for him.
Okay, the original Hordak got his hands dirty. Like, he was in the shit. He was in the trenches. He was making his arm a gun and shooting people. He was turning into a rocket with a doofy Hordak face.
I was going to say,
he was snorting it up on the front lines.
Let's take a moment to appreciate how he put his face on everything. I'm just like, that is true evil.
That is true evil.
That's when you scare people with your face before you show up.
Everything had Hordak's face on it. That's how you knew Hordak was here. Even if Hordak wasn't here, Hordak was here.
He was there in likeness. And in spirit.
That's what... Okay, so if we ever get big and we start like a big company...
You're going to put your face on
everybody has to wear a t-shirt with our faces on it.
No.
They got to wear our faces on their underpants. Well, that would
scare some people. No.
The cars have to have our faces.
That's where men's faces belong.
Yes. And they could be both of our faces, because...
That's where men's and women's faces belong.
Sure. I'm not going to judge.
That's where our faces belong?
That's where our faces belong. We're both here with you in spirit, always. 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 We're with you. We're very close to you. Thank you. Talbot Links didn't have to do that. I got away with writing a book report after reading 5 random pages and getting lucky with the poem therein in 5th grade. That tactic doesn't hold up so well in the adult world when reviewing.
No. My dad used to do that too. He used to read the back of the book and do his book reports. So, yeah, I won't say anything. My dad used to do that also.
Braden, hey, how's it going? That's why I asked you months ago about horde undergarments. Yeah, we need
a horde.
We need little bats on our crack. Everybody needs
bats on your cracks.
Everybody needs a bat on their crack.
Sorry. Oh my god.
Bat crack. But like Hordak was yeah, Hordak in the original was badass, and the only one he answered to was a giant hand. You know, Horde Prime was just like a giant hand.
So, anyway, we're, underoos. I love underoos. I gotta tell you, I need the She-Ra underoos. I do have the Wonder Woman ones. When I was a child, I had Wonder Woman underoos. I was Wonder Woman, damn it. I was like 5 and I was Wonder Woman. And You
still are.
I am. And I pushed my brother into a garbage bag and cut his leg open. But I was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman would not do... Well, I don't know.
He was evil and I had to stop him.
You had to show that man what's what.
That's right. Except I got in big trouble because he got hurt.
Well,
I do feel bad about it to this day.
Man spawn.
He almost cut my toe off later, so it's all good. And my toe's fine. Wow. Anyway, and it was an accident. Anyway, so this show, I mean, they're talking about how the scope is much larger. Not really. Basically, they're trying to rebuild the technology of the first ones, and they have a portal that they're going to try to use to bring, through space. That's the vastness. Everything else, like the army is still Kyle and friends, and robots. It's still stupid. There is no expansive. You don't get a real feeling of, holy shit, we're in trouble. It's just like, it's Kyle.
Yeah, like
Catra and Kyle.
Hordak had in the original had like a freaking armada. He had like the very first scene with Hordak has him sitting on a throne with like the freaking empire behind him, his big ass spaceships and all kinds of craziness.
He's holed up trying to do his portal thing with Entrapta. And he says Catra and all them out there. Well, Catra and her 4 of them out there running everything. Then you have Scorpia just trying to hug Catra all the time and get with Catra. And then they're like bumbling and stupid. And then when they are like when they have like the opposing sides, like the one episode when they're in this ice place, they have the opposing sides, whatever. They were working together. Seahawk and Scorpio were working together. I'm like. Really? Like, no one's effing bad. They're all like, we're just misunderstood. We're just, we're just one hug away from being the good guys. One hug away.
What was that? What was that stupid song the Smurfs sang? Goodness makes the badness go away. Do you remember that?
Yes, and that's
it. Goodness makes the
badness
go away.
They're saying they're saying, yeah. Where's the tauntaun? All right, where are they cutting something open and gutting it? No, I'm kidding. But I'm just saying, it's not like this vast thing, and I do not see The Empire Strikes Back. The only reason he's saying that is because she kept saying she's a Star Wars fan, and she probably said it in passing. Oh, I based it on Empire Strikes Back. Like, hell you did.
She didn't. She based it on Attack of the Clones, which is not one I would pick to base it on. Because she liked Attack of the Clones. I remember that interview she was talking about. Zam Weasel, she was very... Very,
oh, that's right. She wrote fan fiction about
this character that was in it for like 2. But
so
you know what?
Anyway.
To be fair, people wrote fan fiction about Boba Fett for years. So, Nightmare X123, thank you. This review be like, use the Force, Harry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty
what
much.
is it with these people? Like, this is like we're starting to see the. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the bigger picture for years, but like I'm really starting to see why people get so infuriated with like gaming journalists and stuff when they're like, oh my god, like I've never played this game, but it's all wrong. Everything's wrong, and the gamers who play this game are wrong.
People told me it was, and
told
I
me it
saw
was
pictures
bad.
out of context, and now it's bad.
Oh my god, Barrett has a gun arm that's toxic and masculine, and he also sounds like a black guy because he's a black guy. And Tifa's boobs are too big. But I've never played Final Fantasy VII, but I can tell just by looking at the screenshots that it's really problematic, and it just needs to change. If you want to be more inclusive and bring more people into gaming and get rid of all those toxic man babies.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know when Shiva's losing a hand, but that would be funny. I'd watch that.
Could they gut Spirit and like stuff Glimmer inside his rainbow guts?
Why would you? What? Well, Spirit's really annoying in this one. I mean,
Or would that be abuse against his people?
He's doing loop-de-loops in the sky. That's what he does to
God.
things.
Okay.
So anyway.
Speaking of loop-de-loops. All right, I'm trying to follow
Speaking
this
of loop-de-loops.
shit.
That was a good segue.
I can't even. I don't even know what the hell.
I'll credit you for that one.
You can't make this up. I am trying to follow the Vic Mignogna situation. Now, this is actually news. We don't get into the Twitter drama. I said before, there's a lot of it, and I don't want to wade through it. I do not have boots high enough to wade
However, if you
through
watch here, you can have moon boots, which look like crap.
We could. So apparently, Jamie Marchi is hiding from being served. Oh, hey, Jag, thank you. Fake nerds were the villain all along. Yeah, I think, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be all like fake geek girl, but I think there are fake geeks and fake nerds who infiltrated pop culture, news sites and all that when it was very trendy, like the Hollywood nerd types. And they came in because it's trendy and the movies were doing well, and now we're going to jump on this bandwagon. And, we're seeing it. We're seeing it with these blogs and just the ridiculousness going on with attacking fandoms that have been around for decades. Anyway, Jamie Marchi, she's hiding. She's supposed to get served in the Vic Mignogna case. And apparently they can't find her. Well, they said they've made repeated attempts to serve her papers. Now I guess they're just pinning it to her door.
Well, Dave said the comments that she spoke about it via Twitter, so she can't deny knowledge.
Yeah, she said, like, I saw that. She's like, I was out, like, walking my dog and going to Target, so I'm not really hard to find. So they're like, okay, we'll just tape it to your damn door.
Wait for her to walk her dog.
Served. So this is, like, I mean, this is just, I can't even. I don't know how Ricada does it. Like, he does these, like, 3 or 4 hour streams talking about the circus surrounding this case, and it's so ridiculous. And I don't know how this is going to end, but I mean, we had the quartering where basically, well, actually it was kind of a like Matt Loader tried to hide out, and next thing you know, next time you hear anything about it, it's like, here he is against a brick wall reading a prepared statement saying that, Jeremy Hamlin's not a Nazi and, kumbaya, and then that's like it. So I don't know how this thing is going to end. So this is not, like, I don't know if Funimation, like, who's representing these people.
Brad says that Ricada got hold of
text message to cons threatening them. He's going to review them tonight.
They predate the Kick Vic movement.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, there are people. Look, we've heard the Vic Inquisition. We have heard that there have been people out there for years trying to it's kind of like Get Shorty. It's like Get Vic. They've been looking for something to get Vic with, and then it took them all sort of combining into a really badly formed Voltron to try to kick him with the lion legs.
That's not even.
That's not a good. Don't even.
No, I don't even. I'm trying to picture that.
Sorry, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Jamie Marshy cosplaying as Carmen Sandiego badly. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm just waiting for people to be like, it's all fine, everything's fine. Then like cut to the next scene, and they're like stuffing clothes in the suitcases really quick, and it's like, trying not to leave the country or something. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Tell me what's going on. Tell us.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Basically, she's hiding, as I understand it, and we're trying to follow.
She says she's not hiding, but.
Wingser 12 send the SWAT team already. Oh no.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. She can't hide for. No, I don't think I think that, as I understand it, again, I don't really watch Rakeda's streams because they go for like
so long.
They go so
really
long. They are. I wish he would do like a 10-minute TLDR version of it. Like, this is what I talked about last night for those of you who don't have the patience or time. Here's a nutshell. Here's where we're at. And that would be awesome. God, what is this? A guy named Andy working for Funimation's going to get in trouble. I think I think this rabbit hole goes deep. And again, I don't know all the behind the scenes stuff, but we had people coming to us months before Kick Vic, because we were already talking about the animation industry, the U.S. animation industry, and saying there's going to be some big stuff happening in anime. We're going to have like an anime gate, and you're going to have to watch Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Anime News Network.
Yep, that's the three
they
said.
Literally, like 6 months before.
Together on something.
Yeah, 6 months before the Vic thing happened, we had anonymous people, we'll say they're I know they work in the industry, come to us and saying that there was something was going to happen. They did not specify. I'm like, oh my God, here we are. Other YouTubers do snippets of Rakeda's streams. Yeah, I wish he would do a shorter version. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye on this.
Yeah, we're trying to do too many things to actually have time to go watch this. We have so
much stuff going on. So much stuff going on. So yeah, so she's getting served. I guess they're just like stapling it to her door. It said it's therefore ordered the service of citation may be made on defendant, leaving a copy of the citation with copy of the petition and copy of this order attached to the door. Jamie Marshy's residence. So yeah, they're just like, whatever. We know, we're trying to get a hold of you. We're going to tape it to the damn door. So did you miss Shira talk? Yeah, we already did Shira.
Sorry. But you wouldn't listen to it when we post it and hear it all.
Yeah, there we go. Nick preview just 4 texts. I'll have to look into this after Snaple interview, and they were stone cold smoking guns. God, yeah. Well, look, Brad. Like I said,
16 more.
I don't have any like proof I can give anybody, and I protect my sources. But I can tell you,
we cannot name our sources. Sorry.
I can tell you that I have had people who work in and around the anime industry come to us privately after we started doing stuff on She-Ra and Thundercats Roar and all of that, telling us that there was gonna be some big blowout with Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Anime News Network, and like freaking clockwork.
And we were like, nah, I don't think so.
We never mentioned it because, well, I think we kind of mentioned it in some live streams, but we're like, that sounds really far-fetched. Like, why? And it had nothing to do with Vic at the time. They basically were like,
there's something going down, but
they're trying to eject toxic
that's what they
people from the industry and clean the industry up and make it more palatable for them.
I mean everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean them.
And then we saw, all the backlash against Shield Hero and Goblin Slayer, and then the Vic thing happened, and then now we're hearing that, in Japan they're looking to tame anime and make it less.
Well, that was one person saying that.
Well, only one person, but we also heard with Sword Art Online that the creator was sort of like, so the end goal, as I understand it, again, this is coming from a source I will not name, take it for whatever it's worth, was that the end goal is that Funimation, Crunchyroll, and Anime News Network were going to kind of get together and try to like make a kinder, gentler anime industry over here in the States. That's my understanding.
We're going to make an anime industry for us in the States so we can have all the work and make and just copy a bunch of stuff and say it's ours and we invented it and get things like High Guardian Spice. So, but
Yeah,
we get to in our preview for
so-
High Guardian Spice is nothing but like a Kickstarter video about how diverse it is.
Do we have any footage of that? Like, we have no idea
footage
what's
of
going
what?
on with High Guardian Spice. Like, nobody
No,
knows.
since they had the other thing, I have to keep
It
checking
was like
for
a
it.
Kickstarter. It was like, we're
It
going to make
was.
this thing in 5 years, but here's a little preview.
Yeah, it was like you're thinking you're getting a preview of the actual show, and besides the
Right.
fact that it's Little Witch Academia, it was basically the entire thing was like a Kickstarter video talking about how diverse they are. Support us today because we're diverse. We mentioned diverse. Here's our team of diverse people. We're very, very diverse. Diverse, diverse, diverse. Oh yeah, we're doing a show, but we're diverse. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Oh God! So somebody talked about Rooster Teeth. I gotta give a shout out to Hero Hey. I saw this on his one of his videos. They're talking about how they're gonna replace Vic Mignogna on Ruby. Like, should we write in a reference to Crow's voice changing, or hey Uncle Crow, what? Punch him right in the throat. Oh, this is actually better. You're welcome. Well, anyway, this got locked on Reddit. This thread got locked on Reddit. It's too toxic. Too toxic. I'll put a link in here. Here we go. We're going to do a link. Hey, you want to buy a Subaru? Want to buy a Subaru? So, yeah, I don't know how they're going to... I don't know. How are they going to handle that?
I don't know.
Find a sound alike, I guess. I don't know. Did they announce who's doing his voice yet?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I've been really busy today.
Like, they wasted no time. They were like within a day or two. They're like, yep, we're out.
That's it too. A lot of places you would think.
Like, they were just waiting to pull the trigger.
Whether he did or not, you'd think that they would look into it first. Like, like when you had the Jim Cummings thing with Disney, they didn't just hurt and get rid of him. They looked into it first. And you'd think that most places would quietly look into it for a little while and do an actual investigation on whatever that was at Funimation. And then they would, see where it was legally and see the evidence and all that and go for it. But they just immediately like boom, gone, both places. And it was awfully fast and awfully weird.
It's almost as if they had been preparing for it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, normally there's a little more. I wasn't surprised at all about Rooster Teeth going that way, but
I'm just like, and we're still waiting for actual evidence and police reports and everything else. I don't think there has been any. So I'm just like, you think that honestly, the way these people are acting, I'd fire them just because they're causing all the kinds of damage to the company.
If I were in charge of Funimation or Sony, which I am not, but if I was, I would be like, what the hell is going on? Everybody's shit canned until we figure it out because you guys are in the news for all the wrong reasons. And we're not, I would. I'd just be like, to hell with it. So this got locked. Okay, let's talk about other animation news that's more fun than the current state of the anime industry. Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life are coming to Netflix.
Okay.
Because this Netflix is where old shows go to die.
Well, Netflix is where everything is going. And wait, now let me ask you this: are they being rebooted or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
That
would worry me. I'm just saying. I mean, when I hear that, I'm just
As I understand it, these movies were actually in production at Nickelodeon. And then Nickelodeon said that they don't want to spend the money on Rocko's Modern Life, which I love Rocko's Modern Life. I love it. Invader Zim, I know it's got a huge fan base, but I never really got into it.
Really?
But I freaking love Rocko's Modern Life. So now the 90s are coming back.
Now they're going to ruin the 90s.
Well, because we already got, Full House reboot and everything. So now we got to milk the 90s.
Well, Pinky Boo loves Full House, and she loves the Fuller House. So.
Can you milk a turtle? I don't know. Rocko's Modern Life, though, I love it. Viacom sold the rights to Rocko's Modern Life. Static Cling and Invader Zim enter the Florpus to the streaming giant. So this is really sad. This is where we're at. So Netflix, Nickelodeon could bring these shows back and people would love it. But Netflix is doing it. Like, these were Nicktoons. These were like, at one point in time, Nickelodeon was the best place for animation. Like, they had so many good shows. And now it's like, we don't care. Just sell the rights to Netflix because Netflix is going to take everything. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. Disney owns Hulu. Yeah, we know. With our other job, we were writing about that and talking about it. So, yes, now they have controlling interest controlling interest in Hulu. My mouth did not work for a moment. I apologize.
Yeah, so these were in development. Nickelodeon actually started developing both of these movies. They do feature the original voice actors, which is good.
That's good.
And they released a teaser for Static Cling in 2017 and spin-off of Rocko's Modern Life. And then they basically it sounds like they just like ran out of money and give a shit. Like they ran out of money and give a shit. And they're like, yeah, Netflix, you can have it because that's where all these old shows go to die anyway. So, but they do actually have trailers for both. It's just really sad that like, Nickelodeon doesn't even care about their own stuff anymore.
No.
Cartoon Network doesn't even care about their own stuff anymore, or unless they can, dumb it down like Teen Titans. Like everybody would love another Teen Titans.
Well, Cartoon Network with Thundercats Roar clearly doesn't care about that stuff anymore.
Well, again, am I wrong? Because Thundercats Roar and Teen Titans Go are so much cheaper to produce than something like this.
I don't even want to talk about Thundercats Roar. I just don't even want to. I just can't. I cannot wrap my head around why someone thought that was a good idea. I mean, as much as I don't like She-Ra, the new She-Ra is 100 times better than Thundercats Roar. And I'm still can't understand why they thought that anything about that was okay. I can't even.
Yeah, Ed, Ed is coming back, is it? I didn't know Ed, Ed was coming back. I hope they don't ruin that. Mr. CPU, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Lawsuit document alleges a Rooster Teeth inquiry.
Oh, there
Probably.
you go.
Because, look, there's clearly...
It was awfully fast.
It was awfully fast. And Rooster Teeth is part of Warner Media or Otter Media, which is they're part of Crunchyroll. Mm-hmm. They're all related. These companies are related. And again, this goes back to our sources, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Anime News Network, and sure as shit.
Yeah, there it is.
Nightmare X123, thank you. Didn't have to do that. So glad Zim isn't continuing, says the creator, because... with today's NPCs, toxic would be the word of the day for every episode. Yeah, Zim was pretty edgy. A lot of these shows were edgy for their time. And, look at, hell, even Ren and Stimpy. Like, that would never fly. Never fly now. So they're coming to Netflix. And Disney owns Hulu.
Yep.
Disney got another gem. They have another gem in the gauntlet. So now they're going to take control. As I understand, they're going to take control of Hulu within the next 5 years. Well, they have immediate control of it, but they can buy it out.
They have immediate control, and then I think it goes like next year that NBC Universal can take their content and make it not exclusive. It'll still stay on Hulu, but it won't be exclusive anymore. And then like a year or so after that, they're allowed to continue to take their stuff off. But I think within 5 years, Disney has to buy them out at whatever the value is, and they might market value is.
Who knows? They might decide it doesn't have value because I think this is their backup plan for Disney Plus.
They were doing Disney Plus. They were going to make Disney Plus more like family stuff, and they said Hulu was going to have the stuff, the other stuff on it, which I love.
Fox stuff.
I would like them to bring back, like Daredevil and then put it on Hulu, but I think they can't for a few years because of the Netflix agreement.
2 years. I think that is probably being discussed. Hey, Keegan Graves, thank you. Didn't have to do that. We appreciate it very much. I've heard that the Daredevil thing is sort of in the works.
I hope so because I'm upset about that.
Yeah,
I really like Daredevil. Dang it!
Well, we actually have our TV now is just Hulu. We have just Hulu Live. We cut the cord, but now we're paying almost as much for Hulu and these other services as we were paying for cable.
Yeah.
So it's like...
well, they keep adding these.
They keep adding this, right?
Oh, and then NBC Universal is going to start their own streaming service as well in a couple years, and it's going to be free, paid for by ads. But they're gonna take their stuff off of Hulu and start their own streaming service.
So all the NBC stuff. So what are they going to put? It's just going to be Fox and Disney stuff, like ABC and... whatever else.
The Song of the South. Actually, they said that the whole Disney catalog was going to be released on Disney Plus. But then it came out from some sources, because I did an article on this before, that Song of the South would not be released. And the Jim Crow part of
Dumbo's been cut.
They cut that out too.
Yeah, that was the last release. Disney. I don't understand why. I mean, this is a whole nother thing. But like Song of the South, there's no reason why they couldn't release it with some sort of disclaimer. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg has been pushing for them to release Song of the South. She's like, why are you hiding this movie? Why can't we just talk about it and realize it was made in the 1940s? You have a ride based on it.
Yeah.
And every
the
Disney park has a ride based on it.
One of the first African American actors to ever win
Academy Award,
for it. And,
I'm like, yes,
we do know about the $400 million in Vice. You did a thing on that before, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Disney lost so much money on Vice. Vice is tanking.
That's why all the park stuff and everything keeps going up in price, because they have to pay for all this stuff.
Oh, God. Honey Candle Squid, thank you. Hey.
Okay.
Good to see you. Jeg, thank you. Did not have to do that. They wanted Thundercats to be cheaper. Why didn't they use Ralph Bakshi style rotoscoping? Instead, they retain old fans while keeping the cost down.
Yeah, because that
do
makes
like
sense.
The He-Man, style, like Lion-O, running again.
But I mean,
and again,
even if
looking
it was,
left and right and running.
But it's better than balloon hair. I mean, I still cannot understand how anybody looked at that and thought, hot damn, that's the ticket. Because it looks so bad. I mean, it's just so far removed. I mean, She-Ra, as much as I don't like it, it's nowhere near as bad as that.
No,
so,
I think
know.
it's going to be... Honeycomb Squid says, Uncle Remus is buried in Indianapolis. I did not know that.
I did not know that
either. Nico Amos, thank you. Did not have to do that. Did you see the leaked Nickelodeon short on Alex Meyer's channel? No. It was in the Umbrella Academy video. I did not. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to make a note of that. That's interesting. Okay, so Disney's got another gem. And now this I don't know what to make of this. Apparently, this is a rumor. This is a rumor that, this Marvel multiverse thing is going to be a thing. And that the spoiler for Endgame, there might be a multiverse, even though they don't mention it in Endgame, but it's implied that it might possibly.
Well, they did imply it in the Spider-Man thing, so.
Yeah, so they're talking. This is really kind of skeezy. They might have a version of Captain America in Loki, but because Chris Evans' contract is up, it won't be Chris Evans. They'll have another version of Captain America. So they could do this, couldn't they? They could replace all the Avengers and just say, "Oh, that's another version." They could reboot the entire MCU. With cheaper actors.
It works so well for the comics. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So they're talking that apparently that Loki, because again, Endgame spoiler, he's in a different place than he was supposed to be, and his timeline's all messed up or whatever. But they're talking that they might bring another actor in to play a version of Captain America that's Steve Rogers from another timeline.
Alex said, I bet my bottom dollar that the Hydra cap shows up in the multiverse. I bet you're right.
You know what? They kind of went there. So,
did they?
Yeah, they did. They had the Hill Hydra line.
Oh yeah, when he said Hill Hydra.
Not actually, but they probably will. And we just ruined all of Endgame. No, we didn't. Actually, it's been like a month, I think. I think everybody's seen it. The one
you haven't, then too bad.
So I don't know what to make of this. I think if they go this multiverse route, it's gonna everything's gonna come off the freaking rails at that point. I think it's.
They set it up so they can do whatever the hell they wanted. And that's exactly what they're gonna do.
And it's gonna be like DC, where they've got like 50 different timelines. Every TV series has its own timeline.
Yeah, I can see Bucky, but I don't think we're gonna get that. But...
Yeah, I thought it would be Bucky. I really thought it would be Bucky.
Well, no, but maybe in the new show it'd be Bucky.
I don't know. Well, can they afford
that would be cool.
We'll get like some. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're spending all their money on.
Multiverse.
Yeah, they're. The what?
Multiverse.
The multiverse. They're spending all their money on Hiddleston. They can't afford Evans, too. Well, he's going to go start his political website.
Yeah, he's busy.
He's a busy guy. He's going to go start his political website. So, okay. So, the Game of Thrones creators are doing the next Star Wars trilogy. Most people think it's going to be Knights of the Old Republic. There's been no confirmation. But apparently, Bob Iger has confirmed that Rian Johnson is out in a roundabout way.
Okay, so how do you do it in a roundabout way? I haven't been able to check news today.
Okay, so this is during this communication summit. This is where the same thing.
Oh, yeah, they were announcing a bunch of stuff yesterday, yeah.
And that's where Hulu, of course, they made the announcement about Hulu. Thrones guys who are famous for, there we go, we're reconnecting. Oh my God.
Wonder what happened, but.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Hello, everybody.
Are we back? Are we back?
We disconnected and came back, apparently. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, okay. So we're not saying anything more about it. He said Tuesday morning. Iger confirmed the hiatus. It would be smart for us to take a bit of a hiatus.
That was already announced.
This was before figure out what's next. So they don't really know what they're going to do with Star Wars.
Because they're under the impression that if they give a big break in between, that's what the problem is. It's not because the movie sucked. It's because fans are just tired of the movies. It's not because it sucked.
Right.
No, because he also made a comment that he was confident in what he's been hearing from fans and stuff that the next movie is going to blow people away and all the fans are going to come back and the fans are going to love it because it's all fine here.
The next movie is gonna blow people away.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's gonna happen. I said, people kept saying, "Oh, yeah, Rian Johnson is like his own biggest cheerleader," but it's like, Disney's not. I mean, look, they make some bonehead decisions sometimes, but when you're talking billions of dollars on the line, and they know he's such a controversial figure. They're just gonna kind of sidestep it and be like, yeah, we're gonna just table this for now and never come back to it. Oh wow, okay. Enter the Kyubi. Thank you. Did not have to do a multiverse. So we can get a Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Spider-Man crossover. That would be epic.
That would be interesting.
I think the multiverse exists solely for Miles Morales. I think they're going to do in Spider-Gwen. I think they're going to do a live
I'm
action.
sure they'll do
That's where
Spider-Gwen.
they're going to go with it, because that's why introduce it in the Spider-Man movie. You know, unless you're going to go there. Asan Daloon, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Why would Steve Rogers look different if the alt timeline is still based off the original timeline? Because maybe in this other timeline, he got punched in the face by Nazis.
Or maybe he's not Steve Rogers. Maybe it's somebody else.
Yeah, I never understood that. Okay, this is like Star Trek logic, right? So the timeline's split, and now everybody looks different, and the technology is more advanced. I don't understand how that works.
I just assumed it meant because the timeline was different that it never was Steve Rogers, that somebody else became Captain America.
Well, that could be too.
That's what I took it as.
That could be too. Please don't assume everyone who hasn't seen Endgame has a choice in the matter. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, all you did was say about the fact
I just said that was a very, very small
and it was just
spoiler.
like a joke, was what it was.
Yeah, but just saying that the MCU is left in a very different place.
It makes sense when you see the movie.
Spider-Plank.
Steampunk Captain America. I'd watch a Steampunk Captain America. Steampunk Captain America would be amazing. I'd be all about that. I'd watch Steampunk any of this stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, we're saying, because the Game of Thrones guys are doing a real good job. Now, I never got into Game of Thrones. I'm glad I didn't, because everybody's like, laces out. Like they totally blew it at the end, and now these guys are going to be in charge of Star Wars. So
yeah,
good luck.
That's that makes me feel much better.
Good luck with that.
Like I feel so much better about where Star Wars is going now.
Right. So speaking of crap and balls being dropped, the comic book industry continues.
Wait, your balls dropped?
My balls finally dropped.
About time.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, sometimes I know.
Mine still haven't.
No, your balls dropped a long time. Your balls dropped before my balls dropped.
Probably.
But okay, so the comic book sales. We'll talk about because believe it or not, we actually talk about comic books occasionally on this channel. Some people still care about comic books. Some people care about comic books. Let's see if people are still watching or if they're dropping off. No. Okay, so we got more people. So some people care about comic books. Comic book sales are in the shitter again. So this is April's 37.75 million in comics and graphic novel sales to comic shops, represented a sharp drop from the previous April. Well, they also had Action Comics 1000 last time. Michael Bomer, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Oh, we got a little.
Oh, it's so cute.
That's really cute. Thank you. Ranger Steel didn't have to do that. Thank you. Disney needs to stay away from Warhammer 40K. I don't know if that's on the list. Oh my God. Okay, so speaking of that, did an article where Michael. Oh, I almost said Michael Eisner. Oh my God. Bob Iger had to go out to Wikipedia just to keep track of everything Disney owned.
Really?
He said this in the meeting yesterday. He's like, yeah, I don't even know what we own, but I went out to Wikipedia and then I went to the whiteboard and started charting our future. I'm like, wow. Wow. I don't know
when you
what
own so much, you don't know what you own. You gotta, that's a little bit weird.
Geeky has more balls than Casada and Didio combined.
Probably. I wear mine on my chest, though,
That's it, man. Clownfish Comics. Clownfish Comics. We're going to do $37.75 million every freaking month. Just
us.
Just us.
Because we're going to print when people actually want to read.
Just us. We're going to do lots of boobs and guns and cat ears and giant robots.
And tanks.
That's
right.
And more boobs. No, we don't have to do boobs. But boobs do sell. We should just do a comic called Boobs. just boobs. Boobs and cat ears.
Boobs and boobies.
All right. The brushable balls, though. I am a well manscaped man.
Okay, I don't think they wanted to know that.
What are we talking about again?
I don't know.
Comic books. We're talking about comic books. Yeah, comics.
I'm just like, why did you tell him this?
Comics are dropping again like balls. Comics are, as a consequence, Marvel released more than twice as many new comics as DC did in a month, something which has not happened since Diamond had been announcing new release counts. So DC's dropping off everybody's talking at once. Everybody's talking cheeseburgers.
No, I was just telling you to hit the show because they were.
Oh, kaboobs. Oh my God.
Kaboobs. I love it. Kaboobs.
I think if we did comics with Jiggly Bits, we probably would. I can hire another artist. I don't have to draw the Jiggly Bits.
We were joking. We need to do a not safe for work version of our comic called 50 Shades of Crimson. Because anyway, go ahead.
We could.
I do not have brushable balls. No. Sorry.
Okay, so Marvel's overall dollar sales of the market added by the chart-topping War in the Realms #1. We're almost exactly even year over year, significantly better than overall market, but require more new releases to get there. So basically, we have to make more comics and we have to charge more for the comics to keep the dollar amount somewhat steady.
Yeah, I have no idea
what
what's going
I'm
on.
getting at here. So this is not really good. This is concerning, though. After March set a record for average cover prices due to Detective Comics 1000, which is Batman, for those of you who don't read Detective Comics, the average comic book offered to market went back down to a mere $4.03.
Only $4, yeah.
Only $4 for 32 pages.
That's... I don't...
Why are people not buying comic books? Why aren't they buying their $8 X-Men comics? What's wrong with these people? And meanwhile, more comic shops are closing.
So meanwhile, manga in Japan, exactly.
Believe it or not, Gail Simone has joined Comicsgate.
No.
Gail Simone is basically saying things that a lot of other professionals have been thinking, and they're saying them entirely too late after attacking people who
said it before.
Who said it 2 years ago that there were problems in comics, and now they're like, oh, I guess things aren't so good.
Maybe if you made books people wanted to buy.
Gail Simone on Twitter. Folks, I'm asking you, lots of comic shops are dealing with rising... I love how they always blame it on rising rents.
Yeah, that's what
it is. A
dozen
other problems. The problems being they can't sell the fucking comic books. Yep. That's one of the major problems.
They probably have a rising rent, too. But they can't sell the books because the books suck. Anyway.
We need to make a comic called Bear Tits. People buy the shit out of that.
Oh my God. Like we could have... bear tits.
We bear tits. No, oh my God. It could be like a woman who turns into a bear and wears like Daisy Dukes.
That's called Merida. Or called, what was that? What was that? Merida. Brave. My mind's like...
That's her mom turns into a bear. She turns her mom into a bear.
That's Brave, yeah, with Merida. Okay. I'm sorry, my brain just like froze.
So, Alex Halo, thank you. Didn't have to do that. If you make fox ears instead of cat ears, you can probably get No Bolt Lost Paws would promote the book.
There you go. He's only half joking about doing comics, aren't you?
We're half joking. We've done comics before.
People have been coming to us asking us if we be publishers.
We walked away from the industry because it sucked. The comic book industry sucked. We couldn't pay our bills.
We've had a few
people... We're like, oh my God, we're going to lose our house. Like, literally, if we banked on comics...
We would have been screwed.
We would have lost our house. And that's not even...
People ask us if we would please start up a publishing company, but I don't know if we have time.
Sharon Cat went nuclear on this in their latest Talking Shop video. Oh, cool. Candle Squid says, during Free Comic Book Day, my shop was trying to get rid of massive surplus of WRI2 posters that had been given last November. They couldn't.
Ooh.
Okay, so we've heard from people that Free Comic Book Day for a lot of shops doesn't do anything.
Basically, it's just everybody comes in it's like trick or treat. Like everybody wants free stuff, so.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it is like trick or treat. Like they get their little bag and they're like, oh my God, I can't.
Dress their kids up,
Dress their kids up in Spider-Man outfits.
But yeah, like look, there are a dozen problems. There are a lot of problems. A lot of it being the prices are too high.
Yeah.
A lot of it being the content's not what people want, and they keep telling you this, and you guys keep saying, you're just a bunch of misogynistic, homophobic, blah, 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 alt-right, whatever. And instead of actually listening, people are telling you, which is, no, I'm not those things. I just want my characters to be my characters and the stories to be good.
What is it going to take for the mainstream professionals to understand that the industry's dying? Like, what is it going to take? Gail Simone's like, shops are closing, rising rents. If you were making money... if the rent went up, you would be able to pay it. Everybody's rent goes up. It's called inflation. Now, I understand a lot of these comic shops are in big urban areas, but a lot of the mom and pop shops in rural areas are going out too. In fact,
but a lot of the big shops are going out.
The big shops, Meltdown Comics,
and they're where there's lots of people. So I mean, that's just, it's everybody. It doesn't matter where you're located. But I love this. They said the number one thing you can do to help is please pick up their books on your pull box. They'll love you for it. Well, no, the number one thing you can do is to stop overcharging, to make things people want to read, and stop taking characters that are established characters and changing them all around for no damn reason.
Stop attacking fans.
Yes. Oh yeah.
On Twitter. Stop forcing.
Same for She-Ra.
It's like I don't understand. Like, look. Whether you agree with Comicsgate or not, they have laid it out pretty damn clear what a lot of the problems in comics are. And the thing is what they have been saying has been said by other professionals in the industry for years. People were sounding the alarms years ago. They didn't want to listen.
No, because there's certain people that are in there now think that they own everything, and that I love this whole idea that the diversity just started like 3 years ago when they got in there. That before that never happened, even though we had tons of diversity for years.
The only way you're going to fix the comic book industry at this point is if you find a freaking time machine and go back about 10 years. Okay? Because that's when the problems started, and then they escalated like 5 years ago, and now in the last like 2 years, it's just the snowball, the avalanche is already happening. The damage was done, more than 5 years ago, probably 10 years ago, and people in the industry, I know people firsthand who have been sounding the alarms, and everybody's like, this is fine. It's all good.
Yeah, they just,
everything's okay.
Now it's terrible. Yeah, Earthworm Jim, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we are, because that's where I'm going to go with this.
Do you want to end on a positive note?
We're at 32,000 subscribers, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Thank you, everybody.
So someone's going to unsubscribe.
Yeah, somebody will unsubscribe, be like, oh my god, you guys are toxic. How dare you talk about people making money? Yeah, so that's it. And everyone was warning them all those years ago, and they attacked people, warn them. Exactly, and that's the thing that gets me with, like, look, you don't have to like Comicsgate. You don't have to like the people in Comicsgate, right? But I guess my feeling is, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and if your enemy is the collapse of the comic book industry, which means everybody's out of a job, don't you think maybe if somebody has some ideas for how to turn it around,
and it's working,
it's
proven to work,
even if you absolutely hate those people, you should listen, just to save your own ass? I mean, isn't that the logical thing to do?
You would think.
Isn't that the logical thing?
Before you read that, I want to say Science Smile said before it disappears, dedicated comic shops will probably never recover, but they should do other things. And, go back up. I couldn't read it all. But come back as a supplement to other businesses. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen,
the ones that are surviving now are selling pop vinyls.
Yeah,
and
they're doing their pop
cards,
cultures and stuff. Yeah.
Cesario, thank you again. You don't have to do that. SJW Comics Crash will make the 90s look like a picnic.
I think so.
Already, people are already saying it's worse than the 90s. A lot of retailers.
And I don't know if it'll recover this
I know.
I really don't.
One of the shops that we went to, they sent, and actually some of the other ones are too. The one shop we went to sent an email out, and they said they are no longer stocking new comic books. They are only buying and selling back issues. They are not stocking new comics. We've had other shops that said they're not doing, like, they might not buy Marvel and DC, or they're not buying indies, or everything has to be ordered, from a pull list. That they're just not stocking stuff because they can't sell it. They can't sell it. They don't know what to pick. It's like, it's ridiculous. So anyway. Yeah, guys, you guys are like way late to the party here, Gail. You're way late, and people have been trying to tell you, and you.
But you're too busy mocking them and you
mock
blocking
them, and
people.
I sent, I don't know if Gail in particular, but other people in the industry sent their attack dogs to attack people who are trying to find a better way. Again, you don't have to like people who are trying to find a solution, but at least they're trying to do something.
Right.
Nightmare X123, thank you. Mr. Ratburn is gay now. Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard about that too.
And they had a gay wedding on Arthur, and that's enough internet for today.
I heard about that actually. Yeah.
That would be kind of. I mean, Arthur's been on for like freaking 20 years now. Like, that'd be kind of jarring though. Like, you get this like old grandma and sitting there with the kids, and then you got like gotta explain. I don't know. It's a wonderful kind of day, right? I don't really care. Logic does not exist. So anyway. Speaking of all of this kerfuffle about the comic book industry, people are still making money in comics. They're just not making money in the shops. Crowdfunding is taking off. Graphic novel sales, well, that's debatable. Depends on who you ask. But pretty much, I think the ship has sailed for monthly comics. And, Earthworm Jim, right? So we did a video on... Miles was not created 15 years ago. So we did,
Sorry, I had
that's okay.
Had to help my kids. Go ahead.
Yeah, at least, Honey Kale Squid says, at least Mr. Ratburn being gay was handled better than Natasha Spinderella. Princess is not appearing in the series. Yeah,
I didn't think the Mr. Ratburn thing was that bad.
I don't think, look, it's just my opinion. I'm like, whatever.
That one didn't faze me too much.
It's like, whatever. If Arthur eats another child, then that might be questionable.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit more upset about that. But yeah, that
I'm just shocked Arthur's still on.
Yeah,
that was honestly more surprising to me.
That is, I was like, they're still doing that show. That's what I thought. I didn't even think anything of it. Honestly, I was like, that show's still on.
I was like, holy God, Arthur's still on.
That's what I was doing too. I was like, that's still on.
I thought Arthur was wow. Okay, so Earthworm Jim, right? So we did a video on Doug TenNapel, who was sort of coming under fire from gaming journalists because he does have conservative views. Doug is an outspoken conservative.
Yeah, I think sometimes he goes too far that way too. Sometimes.
Well, yeah. But the thing is what the point I was trying to make in the video is you don't necessarily have to agree with the person creating the thing.
Right. If you like the thing,
Right. Like, I liked Into the Spider-Verse. I know one of the directors of Spider-Verse backs Antifa. But there's still a whole bunch of other people that worked on the movie, and taking that out of it, I'm like, well, I can't say it was a bad movie because it was a good movie. The opinionated one, thank you. Didn't have to do that.
That was my title. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, it's Flash animation now. Oh God. Okay, the opinionated one. Could comic shops make arrangements with the crowdfunded comics and avoid Diamond for distribution of said comics or CG do distribution? I don't know. I don't know. That's like I've heard people talking about trying, especially after what happened with the Mark Waid situation, where you basically can have a personality in the industry with connections, tank a publishing and distribution deal. Allegedly tank a publishing and distribution deal. All it's going to take is for somebody in the food chain to not like you.
Oh, he said that so we don't get in trouble.
Allegedly, to not like you, to block that.
We all know.
And I think, I know a lot of crowdfunded comics do make deals with the shops directly, but it's harder to do it that way. And I think it's harder for the shops too, because they have to order from each individual creator and keep track of all that. And I don't know. I think if somebody wants the book in the shop bad enough, they'll make arrangements.
You'd think, but.
So, anyway, to put this in perspective, shops are in deep shit. The comic book industry sales are down. Everything's doom and gloom, and finally people like Gail Simone are starting to catch on that things are not good, and it's not just because of rising rents, it's because people aren't buying the comics. But meanwhile, Doug TenNapel launches Earthworm Jim, and I think it did $100,000 in a day. I'm
not surprised by that at all. Are you surprised by that?
I'm not surprised by that at all, because this is like the perfect storm. You've got Doug TenNapel, who's a popular creator. Most of his crowdfunded campaigns do six figures, and they have since...
They have for a while.
Even before Comicsgate, he was doing six figures on Kickstarter. You've got Earthworm Jim, which is a crazy popular video game. They've got a new game coming out next year for the new television.
Everybody knows about that.
Right. And, this is just the perfect storm, because now 90s nostalgia is coming back. 90s nostalgia is coming back. So yeah, this is the perfect storm. And, we're talking, this is a comic that's going to appeal to people outside of, comic collecting circles. And it looks like a lot of fun. I think.
Wow, they wanted 12,000 was their fixed goal. Is that what it started out wanting 12,000? Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm gonna have to pick up.
That's pretty awesome. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up this one. I'm gonna have to pick up a copy of for sure, definitely. Eskimo No Phono. Thank you. Didn't have to do it. I had to.
Just do it now, because I just want to hear you say you didn't have to do that. It's so funny.
Perth Comics says Earthworm Jim's international shipping is bullshit.
Is it? We're not international, but I'll tell you what, though. I have had to ship books internationally, and these look like they hardcovers.
They're hardcovers.
It's really expensive.
Cha-ching.
It's ridiculously expensive. And then the post office keeps jacking the rates. So,
Yeah, so this is, really comics. I mean, comics are look, people who want to buy comics and people who want to make comics are still going to connect. It's just that we might, unfortunately, not have the comic shops to do that. So there do have to be other ways to connect people. Opinionated one says Rival Diamond even use it for broad appeal. Keep it apolitical. People have been talking about it. We talk to Peter Samedi sometimes, and Peter's he's talked about different distribution plans. I don't know what he's planning on doing. He's got like a warehouse or something he crowdfunded now, and other people are talking about it. I think eventually I think we're going to see more small press publishers connecting directly with consumers. I think it's sad. I don't want to see comic shops go away. I never want to see comic shops go away, but I think
it's the nature of the beast, though, too, because, look at it. 10 years ago, you had a lot of these stores that are going out, like Sears and all those other places. They were around for years and years, and they couldn't make it work. You know what I mean? I think it's just going to be, as time goes on, things are going to change, and that's just the way it is. Someone's going to find a new way that works, though. There's always somebody who comes up with a new business model that works, and then they'll pop up, and maybe it could be saved. But
oh God, Lone Star Trencher said arcades seem to be coming back. I was just gonna say,
that'd be awesome.
Look at arcades. Well, people miss it. They miss it. I miss arcades. I spent most of my childhood in arcades at the malls, and they're both like dying. But with comic shops, like, I think you're sort of seeing the same thing that happened with arcades, where it got to the point where the home consoles were better than what they had in the arcade. So why go to the arcade if you can play it at home? Because it used to be that, like, the NES version was balls compared to, you know, the arcade version of a game. So that's why you go, or the games were, like, way more advanced. But then it was, you know, like in the late 90s, is like, God, you know, all the consoles can play the arcade game. So why go? And it kind of died off. I think it's kind of the same with comics, where it's like, why go to the comic shop if we can buy the comics we want directly from consumers? And it's really unfortunate. But then you still have, you know, game shops out there that sell, you know, vintage games and whatever. And I think the comic shops will probably wind up sort of being like, you know,
you can sell vintage stuff and make other
record,
things. But
record stores.
Yeah. People are going to sit around the floor with the vinyl and their 70s. There's 80s clothes and
around there,
act pretentious.
Yeah, so out there
in Goodwill.
These like 20-year-old kids sitting around with, you know, with a whole bunch of 80s comics around them, pretending they read.
Yeah, pretend that
you know, and telling everybody everything about these characters based on their MCU incarnations and not the comic book incarnations, because they know everything about Marvel.
I know Sears did some. I know their automotive too. They had problems because like they were like taking people's parts out, their good parts out, and putting bad parts in and stuff. Yeah, I know Sears was kind of scammy. I'm just saying it like I just mentioned that was the first one popped in my head. There's a lot of stores that were around 10 years ago that aren't around now, and they're big stores, and I just think that everything's changing, the way everything's being purchased and how people, you know, spend their money and what they do. And I think that unless they adapt, they're going to go out because, you know.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, yeah, people, you know, someone was saying about hanging out in comic shops. You know, look, when I was a teenager, when I was Squid King's age, we had four comic shops in my hometown in the early 1990s, 4 comic book shops. And we knew the staff at every one of them. We had like the you know, the circle of nerds, and we all kind of migrated from one shop to another. But you had your regulars. You had the gaming room in the back, you know. Everybody knew everybody. We'd go in the comic shop. We'd hang out there for like 2-3 hours. You know, walk out there with a thick stack of books, and most of the books only cost us $1.25. And now it's just like, I mean, I remember the very first time I saw Sonic the Hedgehog was at Alien World. It was Alien World in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It was on Basin Street. And they were playing Sonic the Hedgehog on Genesis, and I'd never seen it before. I'm like, oh my God, that looks awesome, you know? And then I went and bought Sonic the Hedgehog instead of buying comic books that week. But anyway, Jason Green, thank you. No hurry, but I've had an Airwolf Blu-ray to the P.O. Box package because I can. Thank you.
I love Airwolf. Anyway, he needs to do the P.O. Box. I keep reminding him. Actually, he hasn't even been to the gym or anything because we've been too busy. He hasn't gone at all this month.
Neon's getting fat. No, Neon hurt his back very badly.
You were gone like last month. You were gone like
every
half
other
the
week.
month.
Every other week I was gone. That's why we didn't have very many videos. Lady Hawk, thank you. And meanwhile, Gen X is like, WTF?
Yeah.
YouTube is a new comic book shop. Well, yeah, they got like YouTube channels that I don't even know how they get away with it. They literally read they go buy a comic book, read the entire comic book, and make ad money off of that.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either.
Like, how in the hell are they allowed to do that? I don't understand. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap things up here, guys. Don't get fatter than... Oh, no. I don't think I've gotten that fat.
No, not really. I haven't. I don't go to the gym, but I work out. I work out by cleaning and remodeling and painting.
Geeky's been busy. I mowed the lawn today with a push mower.
I did the other times. I'm sorry.
It's because I hurt my back and I was gone.
That's true. I did it, so you didn't have to.
I have a very bad... my back is a mess. It's a mess. So we're going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I looked at our stats, and less than half of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed. Only 37% of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribers.
Really?
Yeah, so we want to hit that. We want to hit that 100K. Right?
Someday.
That's our goal.
Then you'll show your face, right? Even though it's not hard to find us anyway.
Just go to Twitter. Michael Bomer, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Again, a little bye-bye corgi. I
love it. It's so cute. Really cute.
Nightmare X123, thank you.
I think it's what's the little dog that the Japanese dogs that
the Shibu.
I think that's what it is.
Nightmare, why do you think that motion comics aren't popular? Because they're half-assed cartoons. You're either all cartoon or you're not.
But we were gonna do like with our Shadowbite or something like that. Isn't motion, but isn't animation either.
We're going to do a dramatic reading.
That's
right.
Do a dramatic reading. I need to start doing dramatic readings. That'd be funny. Like, go do dramatic reading reviews or something, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, so please, Shiba. Is this Shiba Inu? Shiba Inu.
That's the one. Our
the smiley dog.
Yeah, that's the one that Squid King says someday he's going to have. I personally like our dog, but, you know.
Squid King's blasphemy. Why is it blasphemy?
I don't know.
Click like my friends. Please do that.
And then check out D-Res, because we're going to be starting to put more articles over there.
Yeah, if you want to help support the channel, we got a join button now. We're gonna try to figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like maybe once a month do a private live stream.
It sounds dirty.
It sounds it won't get dirty. It'll probably just be whatever.
I don't know. After your other video the other day that you had to put an age restriction on.
Vagina fever. No, they unrestricted. I self-restricted the vagina video. Because I'm like, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm just gonna tell them it's not safe. YouTube decided it was okay to advertise on, and they reversed it, and now there's ads on it.
Okay, so there you go. There you have it. So you never know. He might say something bad because you know.
Oh my god. Okay. So we are. Have you tried acupuncture? No. I don't. Vagina is just a body part. I think we can say that. We can't use the slurs or the dirty versions, but I think we can use the anatomically correct.
Okay.
The anatomically correct version. Okay. All right. The opinion one. More comic shops are going to have to sell tabletop gaming stuff and anime and manga to survive. Yeah, they're all.
I'm not going to complain about the anime manga.
They're all going to turn into FYE. I do think.
Look what happened to them.
Yeah, right. They went out of business. Or there's possibly a method to have CG comics if done strategically. Oh, new. Yeah, thank you, Cesario John. Didn't have to do that, but thank you. It does help. It does help. We'll make a mighty channel.
Boys have penises and girls have vaginas. That's right. Oh, blasting people aren't sub to your channel. I know, right?
Oh, right. No, yeah, because like we get a lot of views. I'm like, we get more views in channels that have like twice the subs that we have. I'm like, why is nobody subbing to us? Don't they like us?
They don't want people to know they subbed
Did
to
YouTube
us.
unsub
We're like their guilty
them?
secret pleasure, and they don't want anybody to know about it.
Geeky's your secret pleasure.
I didn't say that. I said
I'm somebody's secret pleasure, I hope. No, wait, not. That came out all wrong.
I love you.
I came out all wrong.
You're my secret pleasure.
I'm like, oh, look, see, Cesario, look. He got that little clownfish doohickey.
Oh, you did,
because he joined, so now he's a greenie. He's a greenie with a clownfish. He's a reefer.
He's a reefer.
He's a reefer. CBD oil.
All right, we're going to have to wrap this up because we have to get up early because Squid King has his keystones tomorrow, so we have to get up early. So
all right, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and take hope. I think comics and pop culture will survive.
Just make your own things.
Make
dang
your own
it!
stuff.
Don't listen to these people. Just go do your own stuff.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Bye.